everyone and welcome to my channel. For those who know me, hello again, and for those who don't, I hope you stick around because today we are just jumping straight into this video and talking about my haul for fall. To start out, we have The Girl from the Other Side. This is the hardcover omnibus edition of the series through 7 Seas. It includes the first 3 volumes of the series, which has, I believe, 11 in total. I'm so happy that I was able to get this hardcover edition because would you just look at how beautiful it is. If you remember a while back, I actually did purchase the first volume to kick off the series and I liked how it went, but then I found out that they were going to have these omnibus editions and they just look so beautiful, so I stopped reading. When I got this one, I did go ahead and reread the first volume because I did not remember as much as I thought I did to go ahead and start the second one, and I'm glad that I did because I feel like I got the whole experience all over again, and I'm really excited to continue the series from here on out. Next up, we have the print edition of Semantic Error. This covers the first season of the series, and y'all, I actually won this through a giveaway on Monta Comics Instagram page, and I can't find this to buy anywhere. I don't know if they are going to make more print editions to do more giveaways or if they're gonna stand up an internal store. I really don't know, but for this volume at least, it does cover the first season of the series. Not sure again if they'll do anything for the second season, but seeing that this print is in color, they could quite honestly take my money. Next up, we have the 4th volume of In These Words, and y'all, it's always a long time coming. I feel like every time I talk about this series, but it just feels that way between each volume. I can't help it. I get emotional. I was not expecting this next part of the story to drain me as much as it did, because seeing our 2 main characters interact like this and having their backstory to go with it, it's like, no. And just recording this now, I'm getting emotional and I hate myself for it. But it's needless to say that I really enjoy reading this series. Every time there's a new volume, I have to fight myself to not get the chapters digitally because I know that I'm going to get the physical print version sometime anyways. So it's just like, pump the brakes and just wait. But it's worth it. It's worth it every time to me. The light at the end of the tunnel is becoming brighter because we are reaching the end of the series for Beastars. Here we have volume 19, and at the time that I'm recording this, I think that Viz only has 1 or 2 more volumes left to print, and then the series is done and out completely for the English version. So if you are someone who likes to wait for an entire series to be out physically before you go ahead and start purchasing and reading the series, baby, it's your time to shine. All right, they are going to be having another season of Beastars on Netflix, and with the way this last season went, y'all, I'm scared. The reason why I say that is because there is so much after the Cherryton Academy that happens with Fujoshi and all the other characters, so I'm just like, how are we going to fit all of that into one season when we've just been here? Like, I hope that we get to see Melon's character at the very least in this part. I don't know how they're gonna kind of build that up into it, but if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You'll hear about it from me some way or the other. Speaking of things nearing its end, we have the final book in the Jealousy series. This is volume 5. Beautiful pink cover. You can't stop me from loving this cover. Like, you can't. You physically can't. It was going to happen anyways. They made it pink. it was going to happen anyways. This was for sure bittersweet when I closed this volume, and being the last time that I closed a volume for this series. I love Beriko Sensei's work. I will say that over and over again. For y'all who have been here a while, you already know how I feel. Sensei is already working on another series right now, and I hope that Sublime goes ahead and snatches that up as well, because I need it. I need it. So another series that I read coming to a close is New York, New York. This is the second omnibus, so it has the last 2 volumes in the series, and just like the first omnibus, I was screaming, crying, throwing up every time, and nothing changed. I mean, things got better from where we were in the first omnibus, but dang, like, what did Mel do? What did he do to deserve any of this? Like, he ain't do nothing to nobody, right? Can Mel get a break? Can he get a break? I don't understand. The way that was in my bag for the first omnibus was nothing compared to how I was in my bag for this second and final part of the series. It was just left and right and up and down and in the bottoms of the river Styx, because I every page I was just like, I hate it here. And this is not to say that the series is bad or that the story was bad. It was really good. I was just on an emotional roller coaster that had zero end. But on a lighter note, we have Go For It Again, Nakamura, and y'all, it's been so long. When is the last time that I have talked about Go For It, Nakamura-kun? When is the last time I talked about that? Because I don't know. I really don't know. No word on if there's gonna be a third Go For It, Nakamura, if it's gonna be like Go For It Again, or like Go For It One More Time. I don't know what the title for that would be. But I mean, I'd be interested to see what it would be called. Or you never know, it could just flip around and be from Hirose's point of view. You never know. I don't know what it was about the thick books this season, but I was just feeling the thick books this season, because look at this. She thick, okay? Here we have Mizuno and Chayama. This is a one-shot GL story. Mizuno lives in a small town, and she's the daughter of a politician, so of course old girl is ready to jet. Alright, she's ready to make like a tree. But in her school is Chayama, and she is the heiress to the town's local tea company, pretty much being forced to walk the path that's laid out for her. But she gets a lot of backlash from the kids at school because of all the mess that goes on the company and the town and all that jazz. So because of the political atmosphere that these two girls are living in the story, they're not supposed to like each other. But just like in Hairspray, the soundtrack says, you can't stop the beat, you can't stop the motion of the ocean, you can't stop the rhythm of two heartbeats in love. You can't. I'm sorry. You could try, but you will not succeed. Overall, I did enjoy reading this. I've had it on my radar for a while, so I was really happy that I was able to go ahead and pick it up and find the time to actually sit down and read it, because she a thickin'. Next up is Hyperventilation. This is the comic adaptation of the animation Hyperventilation. If you are familiar with it, I raise a glass because it has been a while. Shout out to those who remember the days of Laughdell and trying to purchase this through there, and then when it shut down and then you couldn't access it anymore, but you could still access it if you had your information. It was a whole thing. However, now you can actually purchase the animation and the little bonus content that it comes with on Vimeo. Y'all, It's everything. It's everything. In addition to how the story's laid out, you also get some bonus content related to character sheets and just some more insight to the design of the story and the animation process, which I think was pretty cool. There's a part where they walk through some of the script notes that they had for the voice actors in the back of this bonus content. So I was not expecting to see all of that in there, but it was really cool to see. Here we have the second volume of Fangs. And y'all, a cliffhanger. Wasn't expecting that. That's one of the fun things about stories that involve immortals. Somebody got an old flame somewhere. They could be alive, they could be dead, they could be undead. You never know. But when they come into the mix, oh, it gets messy. And I love to see it. I absolutely love to see it. So I'm ready to see what's going to happen in the third volume of Fangs. Takes a pretty long time between volumes, but you know, I have faith. We will get there. We will get there one day. Next we have another second volume for Therapy Game Restart. Y'all know that I enjoy me some good old therapy game, and now that we're getting a little bit more involved in the story, I'm just along for the ride and loving wherever it takes me. She never fails me. Every volume I read, she never fails me. I'm not sure how long Therapy Game Restart is supposed to last, but as long as there's chapters, I'm there. I will be there. For this last manga in my haul for fall is the 5th installment of the Classmates series, and that is Classmates OB. This one is more of a collection of short stories based off of all the couples that we've seen throughout the series thus far. It also does take us to our main couple and build up some of the elements that leads into the 6th installment of the Classmates series, which is Blanc. It's already out. Go ahead and get it. You don't even have to. Woo! I'm not going to talk about it here because technically I didn't read it in the fall and I read it in the winter, so I'm going to talk about it in the winter time. But I just want everybody to know what's going down in the Classmates, because Blanc, wow. I might as well just talk about it, but I won't. But just know, wow, okay? So that's all the manga that I read during the fall season, but of course that didn't stop me from just falling into devastating, gut-wrenching brain rot over certain things. So the first thing that we have is Beck, the anime. Y'all, what? Like, oh my goodness, I really fell head first into this show. It was just something that popped up on Funimation. I watched the dub, I watched the sub, and then I ended up purchasing the soundtrack, which I've had on repeat since I finished watching. But like, it is ridiculous. I actually got the manga digitally a while back in one of those Kodansha bundles, but I just never read it, so I might have to crack it open because I don't think that the show covered everything based off of how it left off. It just seems like there's more, you know what I mean? And I know you're looking at the screen like, why are there 2 CDs and they also have the same track list? They have different artists. There's a difference, okay? I promise there's a difference. Even though it's the same songs, I ended up purchasing them so that I could burn them onto my computer and then copy them to my phone so that I can listen to it all the time, no matter where I am, because I needed it. I needed to inject the whole score into my bloodstream. That is how bad this brain rot was. That was the only way I could cure it. And if you don't know what I meant by burning CDs, LOL. Next was an impulse buy of an oldie but a goodie, and that is Orange. From the first time that I finished this series all the way up to this very day that I'm recording this video, I will never understand why they had to do Sua's character so dirty. We didn't have to do that to him. Of all the people that we could have done this to in the series, we didn't have to do that to him. Ridiculous. I still love it though. I still love it. Back on the topic of brain rot, I don't know if y'all had a chance to tune in physically. Yes, I mean cable, adjust your antenna, pull out the remote and click power on, because this fall season on AMC, And also AMC Plus, so if you were streaming it, I mean, like, you didn't really have to do all that. But nonetheless, Interview with the Vampire this fall season is what I mean when I say good television. And I haven't had to say that in a while, because I don't be watching TV. I was gawked and gagged every single episode, and I do it again. It was so bad that I ended up getting AMC Plus, and every week that there would be a new episode, I would watch the previous episodes in preparation for the new episode. Oh, the delivery. If they do not give them their 10s, as in their Emmy, oh, Sam, Jacob, Bailey, give it. Now, I will engrave it myself. I watched the movie a long time ago, so I walked in with some base level knowledge when I started watching the show, right? But here I was sitting there, and I was like, listen, we can read. I've seen the movie. We have the TV series. And now I need the source. Of course, like, it just makes sense. So I actually ended up going on Thrift Books to just get the first 3 in the series to just start us off. And I actually read the second book, The Vampire Lestat, first. And while I'm glad I did, at the same time, it's like, now I just have so much knowledge and I don't know what to do with it. So when you're watching the series, they do have so many Easter eggs. And if you've read at least like the first 2 to 3 books, oh, you eatin'. I rewatched the episodes after I finished reading The Vampire Lestat, and whoo, it is so, ooh, they know what they're doing with this show. They know what they're doing, and I love to see it. Anyways, so moving on, this past fall season, my best friend and I were able to take a trip together to New York. And the best in best friend stands for best enabler, because that's what we are to each other. And it's not our fault that we just happened to walk into stores that had everything that we needed and could not leave without. So that's just how the cookie crumbled there. And one of the stores that we walked into was Kinokuniya. Y'all, when we got on that 3rd level, it was over. It was a wrap. It was finito. What silenced it all was the sale. There was a sale. You couldn't tell me anything. You couldn't tell either of us anything, because we already told each other everything. I didn't want to bombard this video with the stuff that I got from Kinokuniya, because it's mostly on the merch side. So I'm thinking about doing a separate thing for that. Not sure if it's something the class would want, or even if I have the time to actually do that. But we'll see if that's something we do in the future. However, the reason why I brought it up in this video is because there were 2 art books that I got, and for some reason I was just getting art books this season. Ended up getting the Star Member one, and then also the one by Kikana Sensei that you see here. And as a part of the whole Black Friday splurge that happened with Books A Million and my bank account, ended up getting the Promised Neverland art book as well. Really excited to start seeing some art books being translated into English lately, because there are little tips and tricks and the cute little background things in there that I would like to understand. So out of this, there's also like the Haikyuu one that's coming out. I hit pre-order so fast, you could not tell me anything. Ready. There's also going to be an English translation for the Wotakoi art book, so keep your eyes peeled, boo. Keep your eyes peeled. And maybe that's another video I do on art books, and probably do a nice little, gallery walk of my art books. Show y'all a little something. That might be something to do. And last but not least, I just want to talk about it because I don't know where else I'm going to talk about it, but Books A Million gave me a coupon for a cookbook. So I got a doggone cookbook. That is by Sanji. Yes, I got the One Piece cookbook. Will I make something out of it? Only time will tell. Maybe that's another video. But like, this whole fall season video is just a wealth of ideas for new videos at this point. That brings us to the end of my haul for fall. And what a year it has been, class. Wrapping up 2022. I know that I'm not on here as frequently anymore, but I hope that everyone has been doing well and that you have a happy and safe holiday season. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you heard today, make sure you hit that like, subscribe before you leave. But that's all I have for today. So, bye!